So the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro has finally been announced. And it's not like we didn't know what this phone was going to look like. It's like we didn't know what the specs were going to be. This was one of the most heavily leaked devices in history. It was so badly leaked that there was a teardown of the Pixel 6 Pro before it was even announced. Now, I don't have the regular Pixel 6 here. That's coming in on a later date, and I promise to talk about that too. But I do have the Pixel 6 Pro in Sorta Sunny. I can't do a full in-depth review because we're under embargo until next week, but I can unbox it and talk to you about the device and, of course, give you my first impressions. Now, as you notice, the box is a bit skinnier than the previous Pixel, and as you guessed, there's probably not going to be a charging brick on the bottom of it. And as you can see here, all you have is your paperwork and the actual USB Type-C cable. Now the cool thing is Google is still including the USB to USB Type-C adapter. I love these things. They come in handy so many times. Even if you're not using it for your phone, you can like connect it to your laptop if you have a device that needs to be converted to USB Type-C. And then the back of the box is just a white color with the word Team Pixel at the top. Now the case is translucent. I've never seen what the new Pixel 6 Pro cases look like yet. Probably leaked, but I just haven't seen it. But look, I mean, I don't know. It's just your simple silicone rather, case with the Google logo in the middle. Now, the phone itself is big. The Pixel 6 Pro is 6.71 inches. That puts it in iPhone 13 Pro Max territory. And as you can see here with the two different tones, you have like this egg yellow on the back, and then on the top here it's a bit more orange. I can't express to you how big this little visor is. It really sticks out, but quite frankly I kind of dig it just because it's symmetrical, whereas on most devices the camera layout is usually fit to one corner of it. First impressions, it's a light phone for a big phone. Like if I was to pull out the iPhone right now, that would feel significantly heavier than this. This feels super light in the hand, but yes, this is a big phone. The one thing I can tell you, and I know I'm not supposed to compare to other devices, but I kind of have to show you, is that the Pixel 6 Pro is not as wide. So if you're using this with one hand, it's a little bit easier than the 13 Pro Max, but you don't get that stainless steel. Now, it is a slippery phone. I definitely think this is a phone that needs to be in a case, but the overall first impressions is it has these rounded edges, which feels very easy to hold in the hand. You have these bronze accents going around the device, the antenna lines inside of here. You have two speaker grills, but only one of them works. The second speaker is, of course, at the top of the display. And of course, you have your little camera hole punch there for your front-facing selfie. Now, the one thing I noticed right away is this little top portion, okay? You have your microphone here, but like the way it's colored, it looks like it's a ribbon going into the phone. It's like a sort of color waterfall effect. Then when you turn on the device, the colors of the phone match the wallpaper that's installed by default. Now this is using Google's new Tensor Core, or Tensor chip rather. It's their very first chip they created in-house for smartphones. This is a good thing in some ways because it allows them to optimize the hardware and software better than just using a chip straight off the shelf like you would with a Snapdragon processor. But I mean, you know, we're gonna have to wait and see. This is their first one. I'm not expecting it to be faster than the Snapdragon 888 Plus or Apple's A15, but you know, based on my first impressions, just like moving around the device, it feels really smooth. Now the Pro model comes with a 120 Hz LTPO display. So for those of you out there who are unfamiliar, LTPO basically means the display can ramp up and ramp down in terms of the refresh rate. So when I'm scrolling through something like this, it's ramping up to 120 Hertz. But if I'm just staring at a static image, it's dropping down to 10 Hertz. This allows the phone to save battery life, improving it throughout the entire day. Now, since we're on the topic of battery life, there's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery inside of here. That's big. And Google is saying that you're gonna get up to 48 hours of use before needing to charge. I kind of believe them just because of the battery size and the fact that they have their own chip in here allows them to be more efficient. But you don't get like super crazy fast wireless charging. You can wirelessly charge up to 30 watts, which is much better than what the iPhone can do. But yeah, it's a big boy. Now this is Android 12 straight out of the box. I'm really digging the look of Android 12. I think it looks so classy. It's just different from what iOS looks like. In fact, I wish iOS looked like Android 12. I just think it looks much better. If you want to change the wallpaper and style, you can just like long press in the main screen, and you have tons of options to choose from. Now, I'm not sure how far and deep I can go into this. I know I can't show you the camera, but I can talk about it, and you're getting 3 lenses if you go with the Pro. Only 2 with the 6, but 3 with the Pro. You have your 50 megapixel wide lens, and then of course you have a 48 megapixel telephoto lens, and then there's a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. Now this year, Google is introducing a bunch of new features that allow you to do certain things when you take a photo. Like you can remove someone in the background if it's in your photo and you don't like it. You can completely unblur someone's face. You can change the style and the look of the photo itself to please your own color profiles. Overall, it's supposed to be a lot more intelligent. They're making a big deal out of video this year, and of course, you can do all the 4K stuff you'd expect to do, so I'm gonna be pitting this up against the iPhone, which I still feel has the best video out of a phone, because I'm curious if Google has redeemed itself, because we've been using Pixel devices for years, and the camera quality in terms of photos have always been absolutely amazing, but the one area that they always completely suffered was when it came to video, so I'm hoping that's improved too. Now, I can't compare the sound quality to another device, but I am going to play you guys a song and give you my first impressions. So this is a sound sample. It sounds pretty good. I don't think it's the best stereo speakers I've heard on a smartphone, but I think that anybody buys this device will be very happy with them. I must say, like, Google has done a very good job with their high refresh display. Like, I've been browsing around the menus and opening things up, and it has this sense of smoothness that I think other Android phones lack. It's one of those things you're gonna have to play around with yourself, but it feels like ridiculously smooth, which other phones are kind of like ramping up and ramping down, and you kind of feel it when that moment happens, but this just feels like it's always 120 hertz. I don't feel that moment where the LTPO display is changing from a lower refresh rate to a higher one. So I think that's really impressive. Anyways, this is just a first look. I think it's a really cool device. I'm super happy Google is finally making their own devices. But yeah, I do these unboxings for one thing only, to get your questions for the full review. Let me know them in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer as many as possible when my video comes out next week. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.